Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. If you can hear me, please type a one and make sure you can hear me. We have a great session tonight. It's going to be fun, ladies and gents. If you can hear me, please type one in the chat. Type one if you can hear me. Type one, everyone, if you hear me, if you can see me clearly. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our GPhC exam protest. So for the past weeks, many days, we've been working towards organizing this. So thank you all for joining in. So what we're going to do today is talk about our protest. It has to happen. It will happen. And we will go ahead. We will go ahead with the protest. And this session is just going through with you the logistics, letting you know what we've planned ahead, all the communications that have taken place with the GPhC, and just to assure you that we are doing everything within our power, everything within our means to make sure we get a fair treatment for all of you. So if you're excited to be here today, if you're excited about this protest, then please type a yes. Let me welcome all of you joining. I'll also give you a good chance to ask questions about this protest. Sharma, welcome. Thanks for joining. Samin, Afsane, Z, Sade, great to have you on. Mira, Grace, Doris, El Monday, ERA. Please share this. I know there's more and more people joining in. Please share the link. Share the link with friends. Everyone needs to join this protest. If you are serious about making a difference, if you are serious about getting results from the GPhC, then it's time to do something different. Don't be amongst those that just talk and do not act. This is an opportunity for us, and I'll go through with you. We've been doing so much work behind the scenes, and we're not going to back down from this. We're going to make sure that we do this protest. So Uze, welcome. Great to have you. ERA, I've shared the link in different platforms. Thank you so much for doing that. Really appreciate it. The only thing you guys can do, there are some of you that may not be able to make it to the protest. What I ask you is simply share the link. If you cannot physically come down, you can at least help by sharing and spreading the word. So I really appreciate anyone that is not able to come down, but that has definitely decided to at least get the word out there. So let's look at why we are protesting. Let's look at why this is so important. And here is the reason why. So we are protesting because only fools keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Okay, only fools keep doing this. We've reached a point where we need to stop complaining as pharmacist trainees. We complain. We're not happy with the GPhC. We're not happy with the exams. We're not happy with these conditions. The GPhC isn't treating us right. This isn't happening. We are good at talking. But all these years, that's all we have done. Twitter, we are so active on Twitter. WhatsApp, we are so active. Telegram, we're so active. Messaging. Yes, we are good at doing this. But we've been doing this all this time. We've always done this when there's always been issues with the GPhC. And guess what? If we keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, then we are fools. We cannot blame the GPhC if we keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. This is the reason why we decided to do something different. Why? Because this time we want a different result. So in order to get what you've never had, you need to be prepared to do what you've never done. So why are we protesting? We are protesting because this hasn't been done before. We are protesting because we need a new result. We are protesting because we need new action. We are protesting because we know that Twitter and WhatsApp and Telegram and all these messages have been done a lot in the past. But what hasn't been done is a protest. Hence the reason why I keep getting every single trainee that cares about your results. Everyone that cares about these results, trainees, pharmacists, anyone that wants to support. The best way you could do this is by doing a protest. That's why we're doing a protest, because we are doing something different. Everything else has been done before. All the messages and all the talking, it has happened before. This is something new and this is something different. So if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. So that's why we're doing this protest. It is something different and it is something new. Now, here's the good news for you. Many have been asking about this protest, but the most important thing is throughout this whole process, the GPhC has been extremely supportive for this protest. It may come as a surprise to many people, but when we are not fighting the GPhC, we are fighting fairness. And we are so confident to have a peaceful, professional dialogue with the GPhC. And that's exactly what we have done all these days. The GPhC has supported us more than most pharmacists and trainees have supported this campaign. So the GPhC is backing us. As long as the campaign is professional, it is safe, they are very happy for us to go ahead with the campaign or with the protest. So here's what we'll discuss about. So what are the goals? We need to have a group of goals. That's why we got together. There is no point sending 1,000 messages all over social media with no direction. So we decided, let's get this all together. Let's set a common goal together and let's approach the GPhC together. And that's exactly what we've done. And that's exactly what we are getting with the GPhC. So we have had talks with the GPhC that have invited us to come and see them on Wednesday. The GPhC has been very helpful in terms of showing us where to do this protest, guiding us and cooperating with the police, with the security in Canary Wharf to make sure that the protest goes ahead in a safe way. So when it comes to the support for this specific protest, I need to be honest with all of you that of all the companies that have really supported the protest, the GPhC, surprisingly, those that were going against, have supported us more than most companies. So the protest goals, we're going to look at the GPhC's thoughts. What do they think about this protest? What do they think about it? We are in touch with the GPhC. So we know what they think about because we communicate directly with them. Organizers, participants, meeting with the GPhC, we'll talk about that. Protest details for those of you coming down. What will the program be? Important logistics, the code of conduct, legalities, and then outreach and promotion. So this is our final chance to have a say. We can talk as much as we want on social media platforms, but the GPhC has given us a golden opportunity to come to the office and speak face-to-face directly with Duncan. Directly. The GPhC has invited us. We're going to have a list of delegates with the chair, with staff from the GPhC, and we're going to have a meeting face-to-face with them, which is something they normally don't do. But just to show you the degree, so all of you that keep sending messages about having all of these distractions, about the GPhC, I don't want to get into trouble. Oh, the GPhC. Then you don't understand your right. You don't understand your right as a pharmacist. You are allowed to protest. And the GPhC has no problems with us protesting as long as it is safe and professional. You need to understand your rights. And you need to know this is a dialogue with the GPhC. We can disagree, but we can be professional about it. Hence the reason why the GPhC has invited us to come and speak to them face to face. And that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. And we applaud them for that. We are appreciative and we are thankful for the support that the GPhC has given us and invited us to come and see them. Pharmacy standards. We're all pharmacists. So I want to point out to an important standard for all of you to know your rights. If you look at number 6 of our professional standards, we need to behave in a professional manner. We are having a peaceful protest. We are going to be professional, but we're going to make sure our message comes across. And I want you to look at number 8. Speak up. Speak up, pharmacists. Speak up, trainees. Speak up when you have concerns or when things go wrong. These are standards for pharmacy professionals. Speak up, pharmacists. Speak up when you have concerns or when things go wrong. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are speaking up because we have concerns, and we are speaking up because things have gone wrong, and we are doing them in a professional manner. We are doing this in a professional manner. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make this happen. We've never stopped. We've never given up. We've never lost hope. Instead, we've continued to push and continue to work with different bodies, including the GPhC, to make this protest happen. So here are some communications that I've had directly with the GPhC. I've been in contact with them for the past week directly. We've heard from the Canary Wharf Group and the Metropolitan Police that that's me, have been in touch with them to arrange the protests. We have emphasized to them that we support, right? The GPhC is clear on this, ladies and gents. Don't get this mixed up. The GPhC supports our protest. And they said this to me in an email. We have emphasized to them that we support the rights of you and the candidates to protest, and want to work with everyone involved to facilitate a peaceful protest. So they have supported us. They've really supported us. And I must commend the GPhC because they have been the ones trying to facilitate this protest for us more than any other company has. I understand both the Met Police and Canary Wharf Group are planning to contact you directly to discuss arrangements for the protest, which they have done. Anyone that was doubting the legality of this protest, we have the Met Police, we have Canary Wharf Security, we have the GPhC. All of these people have given us the green light. Please also let me know if you have any questions for us, the GPhC. I'm happy to help. I'm also going to discuss further with colleagues about our engagement on the day, and we'll come back to you shortly. I wanted to follow up on our earlier email, as I've now had the chance to discuss with the Chief Executive Duncan himself and our Director of Education Standards, Mark. We would really like to hear from you and some of the candidates directly about what their experience is, and to explain what we are doing in the process to the issues being raised by candidates. We would therefore like to invite you and a delegation of 4 candidates into our offices to meet Duncan and Mark and have half an hour discussion. There will be an opportunity for the candidates to share their experiences, and then Duncan and Mark can give us updates on actions and answer any questions. This is a unique opportunity. Many people don't get this opportunity. Many groups don't get this opportunity. But the GPhC has given us this opportunity. We've sent all the messages on Twitter. Yes, we've expressed ourselves on WhatsApp groups. We've gone crazy on Telegram groups. We've screamed and we've spoken and we've spoken and we've spoken. But all that doesn't matter if you cannot go and speak face to face with the person in charge. So come down to this protest. Come down to this protest. It's not just for us. There are a lot of people that are out there to listen to us. So the GPhC update that we got last week is clear. It's clear. The GPhC hasn't said they don't care about the other issues totally. They didn't say that. The GPhC has definitely highlighted the most important thing that considers the most important issue is to do with the time delay. Okay, so those that were delayed by 30 minutes and above, automatically that is considered as a serious issue that will affect performance. So anyone else that has any other issues other than this, if you think there's anything else that affected your performance, then the GPhC is saying you can either nullify this exam, or better yet, let it go through. And then once you get your results, if you are unsuccessful, then you can appeal. So we've sat down with a number of trainees in the group and pharmacists, and we've tried to find out what are the top 3 things we can discuss, we can request from the GPhC. There's been loads everywhere. But we came together to find out what are the most important ones and the ones that are realistic. The ones that we know that the GPhC has a chance of acting on. So we've looked at every single thing. We've heard everything that trainees have requested. And for our campaign, for our protest, we've got 3 key goals. 3 requests which we are going to ask the GPhC. The first request is for any trainee who fails this exam in June 29th, the first exam that's done the sitting in 29th of June. This should not be counted towards, this sitting should not be counted towards the total number of failed attempts. That's the first. The second thing, as we've mentioned, at the moment, the GPhC only recognizes the severe delays as the main issue. Our goal is to get the GPhC to recognize the other issues which most of you have expressed as well. The other issues which most of you have expressed, apart from the severe delays, we want the GPhC to look into these. Now, the GPhC actually said they are investigating these. They've not given us the results yet, but they are investigating these other issues. So what we want to make sure is to those of you that decide not to nullify this exam, if you fail the exam, we want to make sure that these reasons, these other reasons which you mentioned, you will be given the right and a fair ground to appeal with these reasons. Finally, the third thing we want to ask the GPhC is whether this specific exam, if you fail the exam, you only retake the exam paper that you failed, as opposed to everything, just the one that you failed due to all the issues that you experienced in this exam. We've got 3 requests, and this is the basis of our protest. So this is what's going to happen, and that's what our protest is all about, and that's what we're discussing with the GPhC in our meeting on Wednesday. The main event itself, which I really encourage all of you, we've been gathering a lot of momentum. A lot of people today and yesterday started sending a lot of messages and confirmation of attending the protest. So a lot more responses have been coming through. So I am organizing the protest. And if anyone was worried about themselves, was worried about the name, the reputation, or the GPhC, it should be me. I should be worried because I'm not a trainee, I'm a pharmacist, but I put myself on the line because I will do anything to make sure justice is served. And I know it's my right, the same way as it's your right. Like we have seen in the standards, we have the right to express ourselves if there is an issue or there is something you're not happy about, as long as you do this in a professional manner. So please be more confident in yourself. Be more confident in yourselves. Know your rights and act professionally and get your voices heard. We need stewards on the day that can, volunteers that can help us to usher some of the attendees to the right place. We have a delegation that will be having a meeting with the GPhC in the morning before the protest begins. We've been in constant contact with the Metropolitan Police to make sure everything is going to be safe. We've been in contact with Canary Wharf Security, the GPhC team working together. The CNDs helped us, the press, to get out the word out there, and hopefully they will be there as well. So those of you that may not get the chance to come to this meeting with us, the CND is happy to interview you during the protest. So if you feel like you really want to get your voice heard, but you cannot attend that meeting, then you still have a chance with the CND ready to interview you. So if you want to do that, let us know. Let us know. But this protest is the first of its kind. It will go ahead, and we are very happy. We're very proud that we've come this far, and we're very proud of the support that we are getting. not just from anyone, but from those at the top. We have the backing of the GPhC. We have the backing of Met Police. We have the backing of Canary Wharf. And we have the media, C&D, there to help us with the press as well. So feel proud, feel positive. We will go down there and we will do what we have to do in a professional manner. So our aim of the protests or the campaign, our aim is three things. We try to make things simple. We try to make things simple. Represent who you are. Represent the profession. Show the GPhC that you are worth becoming a pharmacist, that you have every single skill, quality, character. You are a professional, but you always stand up for justice. You always stand up for justice. So we want to get the GPhC to accept our three requests. So it's important that you know what these are so that we're all united for the protest. Our meeting with the GPhC is going to be diplomatic. I will oversee the meeting, and I've been in contact with the GPhC. So we will be very diplomatic. We will be very tactful. Another thing I need to stress about as well is we need to focus on solutions. I do understand it's very emotional for many of us. And I know how you feel. I know how much this exam means to you. If there's anyone that truly knows, understands your feelings, your pain, and empathizes, I do. Hence the reason why I'm still here doing this protest, despite the fact that there are trainees that are not even going that extra mile. But I'm here with you, and I'll be with you till the end. But what I want to remind you is we want to get solutions. So with the GPhC, we're focusing on solutions, not only expressing our personal stories and our emotions. We need to be able to work out with solutions what we want them to do. We need to be united. Unity is key for this protest. We need to stick together. We need to have the same message. We need to be clear on the same message. And the message has to be simple, direct, and practical. So I've had to skim through a lot of reasons. You can imagine I got hundreds and hundreds of things that people wanted us to discuss about. Loads of points. Unfortunately, we cannot discuss every single concern everyone has. It's not practical. But what I can promise you is this is a first step. This is the first step. We've come so far. We've built very key relationships, important relationships. This is not the end. It is the beginning. There are some concerns. This is the beginning. We're going to start those consultations, but we will go through all those reasons, all those issues that you have in due course and have those discussions with the GPhC. It's important that you know, as you can see from my actions and from everything I say to you, we are working with the GPhC, not against the GPhC. We do not have any personal issues with the GPhC. We have issues against this exam that has been set. We have issues against this specific things that were going down our protest. We're not going to divert into different things. We have three requests, and that's our focus. This is our focus. After that, we can continue to discuss different issues in terms of reforms. But for now, our goal is the three things I shared with you. Hopefully, as time goes on, and hopefully we might get more pharmacists that will be inspired, more pharmacists that will be able to stand up and go to the GPhC with more and more of these issues that everyone has. But let us start with these ones. If we cannot get the basic things right, just turning up at a protest, if we cannot even get ourselves to do just that little thing, how do we expect to influence the GPhC to do bigger things? We need to be professional, and it's going to be a peaceful demonstration. It has to be a peaceful demonstration. Anyone who violates that conduct, anyone that is violent, that uses any absurd language or that jeopardizes the security of anybody or any building or any place, actions will be taken against them straight away. So it's important that you remember who we are. We are pharmacists. We are professionals, and we can get our voices heard in a professional way. The protest, those of you that don't know yet, is going to be on Wednesday, 13th of July. It's going to be at 11 a.m. It's going to be a short protest, so please get down there at 11 or before. It's going to be at GPhC headquarters. I'm going to send out the directions. I've sent that out of it in an email. The GPhC has kindly given us a navigation on how to get there, because it could be complex, but they have sent us details on how to get there. And that was from the GPhC. So if you're not too sure and you want to confirm your attendance, or you need some information on how to get there, please email us, gphccourse@gmail.com. We're going to support you and give you all the information you need to join this campaign. But I just want to thank all of you that are on here right now. I just really, really want to thank all of you for coming on here. I want to thank you for taking your time out and being those that are here to support. Thank you all so much, because your support means far more than you can ever imagine. I can only do so much, and I've done my best. I haven't slept. I've worked every single night. I've sent emails. I've contacted Met Police. I've been back and forth with them. Canary Security, the GPhC, done all of this organizing, the emails back and forth with you guys. But there's only so much I can do. All I need now is for you to show up. All I need is for you to now finally talk. I can only give you that platform, but only you can talk. Only you did that exam. I did not do the exam, but I can facilitate and get you there. But you have to do the talking. You have to express your emotions. You have to show the GPhC you really care about and concerned about this exam. I can only take you that far. But after that, you will have to do it yourself. If you don't, then the GPhC will not believe that this exam really affected majority of you. It will go back to what the GPhC said initially, that the only few students, trainees that were affected in this exam. All the other trainees, the issues were fine. Yes, they had a little bit of issues, but they were not big issues at all. So by train, on the ground, if you want to get to any of these areas, you have the way to get there. So that was sent to us by the GPhC. I've sent out an email. If you want to get directions, please contact me. But the Jubilee line, those of you in London, you have all the directions there. Protest program, meeting with the GPhC and delegates. So it's going to start at 10. At 10:15, we have a meeting with the GPhC with the 4 delegates, where we're going to put forward our requests. Protest arrivals start from 10 o'clock, really, but the protest itself will start at 11 a.m. So be that 11, and the protest will begin. We're going to have an opening speech, and then we're going to share stories. We'll have the media there as well to take your stories to support the protest. Hopefully, we don't know yet, but perhaps we will try to see if some members from the GPhC can come down and perhaps speak to some of you and answer some of your questions directly. So many of you that have questions, this could be an opportunity for you to come and ask those questions to the GPhC yourself directly. So it is looking very good for us, and we will continue. There's been a lot of work done behind the scenes, as you can imagine. A protest isn't an easy thing to organize. There's a lot involved. There's a lot involved. So things like toilet facilities, the sound system, medical emergencies, how to deal with this. It's going to be a hot day. Make sure you have some water. Our signs, our placards, platforms for speakers, parking, transport, security, cleaning up, the legalities. All of this all have to be taken into consideration. And that's what I have done for you. I've literally said all of this hard work, I will do this for you. I will do this, and that's what I've done. And I'm very proud that we've got to this level. After this, all we need is for you to come down and let the GPhC know how you truly feel. It's not enough just typing these messages on social platforms. It's not enough being the first to type into Twitter, being the first to write messages on Telegram groups, being the first to write all of those messages on WhatsApp group. But you don't have that willingness, that strength, that desire to come and take action. Code of conduct. We need to be professional at all times. And I keep stressing this. No form of violence will be tolerated. It is a peaceful demonstration. It's going to be a respectful demonstration. We have to respect the public. We have to respect the GPhC premises. I have given them my word, and I have given my word to the police as well, and to the security. I have told them you're all professionals, and you're there because you really want a peaceful protest, but you want your voices to be heard. So please, let's go down there and let's act like the pharmacists that we are. No violent conduct, abuse, or use of language which may be offensive. Legalities, litter fines. Let's keep the place like we found it. Litter, everything. Let's leave the place like we found the place. The security and the police, all of that has been notified, so you don't have to worry about your safety. That's all taken care of. That's all been taken care of. So here are some of the messages that we can have on your placards. Please bring things with you, papers, placards, boxes, write on card boxes. Come and have a message. So our key messages are retake only what we feel. So you could shout that on the streets. You could shout as loud as you want. The GPhC needs to know we want you to be able to only do the exam that you fail. We want them to know our issues count too. Not just those that were delayed in the exam. Not just those from Nottingham. Not just those that had 30 minutes delay. There are more issues to this exam, and your issues count too. Your issues count towards appeals. Your issues should be upheld if you appeal. Fair treatment for all. Fair treatment for all. Fair treatment for every single trainee. So these are messages. We want to have a uniform of messages. We want to stand for the same thing. United we stand, divided we fall. If we want to make a difference, we need to be united. The same message, the same conduct, the same atmosphere. If we do this consistently, we have a very, very strong chance of influencing the GPhC. We also have a very strong chance of moving forward as a profession. One of the biggest criticisms about pharmacy is pharmacists are not united. We are not united. Different sectors of pharmacy are different. We are not united. We do not stick together as pharmacists. That is one of the reasons why pharmacists feel weak. One of the reasons why we feel our voices are not heard. Because we are not united as a profession. We are not. But the one thing I ask from you guys, the one thing I ask you, if you want to be successful in this protest, we have to be united. We have to be united. This is not the end, ladies and gents. This is the beginning. This is just the first protest. But this is the beginning of a relationship with the GPhC that we can influence. So start thinking positive. At the beginning, some people said the GPhC will never listen to us. Some people said, oh, there's no hope. People said the GPhC could never change their mind. They would never even let us invite us to their offices. They wouldn't ever support our protest. But we said, no, 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 we will continue. We said we wouldn't be distracted by the noise. And now the GPhC has contacted us. They have reached out. They have put their hands out to us. They want to speak to us. They want to support our protest. They want to look at ways that they can improve this exam. They have decided they want us to somehow be part of this discussion. What else can you ask for? What else can you ask for? So let's start and let's make it happen step by step. And this is the beginning. All we ask from you, promotion and outreach, is all you need to do is to share our protest, not only to trainees, but all pharmacists, anyone that is interested on your social media platforms. If you can type about the way you feel, you can share these messages for people to attend. We need more action from trainees. I see many people say we need mention of calculation paper. What we need is to come down to the protest. What we need is to come down to the protest. Because if we don't have some of you that are committed to take action, this would not even be happening in the first place. If we do not have some trainees willing to come down and speak to the GPhC, this will not be happening in the first place. This would have been forgotten of last week. After the results, this would have been an end to everything, and you would have had to wait until your results come out. Nothing would have changed. Why? Because this has happened every single year. There was no difference. There wasn't any protest. But there were lots of messages expressing how we felt. But nothing got done. So, ladies and gents, let's take this step by step. And the first step is to turn up at the protest. If you can do that, then by all means, you can voice what you want to say. Whatever you are saying that you want to be said, you have a chance to come down and say it. I will give you the mic. I will give you the platform. I will give you the stage. I will invite the GPhC so that you can speak to them yourselves. If this issue is so important to you, if change is so important to you, if you think they have to do something about the calculations paper, then come down and say it to them. Come down and say it to them. They are willing to listen. And they have heard it. They have read every single thing that has been posted on Twitter. They have seen all those comments that have been circulating around the media. There isn't anything they've not heard already. They have heard it. They have seen it. But what they haven't seen is a protest yet. What they haven't seen is you face to face with them. They haven't seen the expression. Words cannot express how you feel physically. You can type how much you were crying. You can type how much you were stressed. You can type how much this meant to you, but it is totally different when the GPhC sees you in person crying. It is totally different when you jump down on the train and you go down to London. Then people know you are serious. Anyone could type a message on the phones. Anyone can sit down behind a desk and type messages. But only few, ladies and gentlemen, can go down, book a day off, jump onto that train, go down to the GPhC and insist they want a change. So if that's you, thank you so much. And I cannot wait to see you all on Wednesday. I will be there in front of it. I will put my mouth where these words are, where I believe in change. I believe in taking action. I believe in doing something different in order to get different results. I believe in you. I believe in fairness. I believe in your justice. Hence the reason why I haven't backed down. Hence the reason why I'm sacrificing 4 kids. 4 kids. I will leave my 4 kids to go down to London for you. I will put all of this on the side. Yes, it is a sacrifice, but it is a sacrifice worth fighting for. Yes, it is a sacrifice, but it means a lot more. So if you want to make a change, stop talking and start acting. Come down and protest. Join the protest. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. The protest is going to be on Wednesday. We are so excited. I cannot wait. And I cannot wait to see so many of you. It'll be such a pleasure to just meet you. It'll be a pleasure to see how you're all doing. Safety first. You know what to do. The most important thing is you are safe. The most important thing, stay hydrated. It is hot out there. Make sure you have You are all pharmacists. You're not just trainees. You are pharmacists. You are trainee pharmacists. You are pharmacists. And you know how important your health is. And you know what to do. So make sure you take every precaution to stay safe. And please be professional at all times. Let's make this the first and the most successful protest. Let's show the GPhC that we are responsible pharmacists, that we deserve a chance. We deserve a chance to be listened to. Let's show the GPhC that our issues are real issues, and we are so serious that we are marching all the way down to London in the heat just to tell them how important this is to us. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? I am happy to answer your questions. Does anyone have any questions? Yvonne says, agree, because some people not affected by the CARCS paper, they said there is no problem. Where is the unity? Where is the unity? This is the reason why if you look at the request to the GPhC, the request that we've put down are requests to help everybody. We don't put down requests. I have people that tell me, all right, it's my last attempt. The GPhC has to do something for international students. The GPhC has to do something for those of us that it's our last attempt. Yes, and I empathize with all of that. But the 3 requests will be requests for everybody, for everyone, so that everyone benefits. Whoever fails this exam, it's not going to count towards your total attempt. That helps everyone regardless. It takes away some of the pressure on some of you. It takes away the pressure from some of you that this is actually your final attempt. Regardless. Issues raised apart from severe delays. All the other issues that were mentioned, invigilators, people copying, people able to see your computers, all of those other issues. We are trying to get these issues, the GPhC to accept these issues as grounds for appeal if you are unsuccessful. And the third one, we want to also request that if you fail one paper, you only do that paper that you have failed for this exam because of all the other issues you've had. So we have to be united. We cannot go through all the points that we have, but we can start with certain points that will benefit all of us. And if we are serious, and if we take part in this protest, and if we act professionally, and if we make an impact, there is no reason whatsoever why the GPhC will not want to invite us again to discuss further issues. I have a list of issues for the GPhC, ladies and gents, a list of issues from you. But this is just the beginning, not the end. This is the beginning. So we're going to raise all of these issues. But the first thing is we need to turn up. We need to show up. What about if you've previously passed one paper? Will it start from when you first took the exams? So we have to keep our focus. These requests are for the exam 29th of June. This is not a discussion with the GPhC for all other issues that have happened in the exam. Yes, we have a lot of things we want to talk about, but our focus, the GPhC has invited us to discuss about issues in the June sitting. This is what the meeting is. This is what the invite is to come and discuss with the issues that we experience in June, on June 29th. So it will not make sense at all that we go into the GPhC meeting and we start talking about things from last year, the year before, or the future. What we are here to do is to talk about your results that will be coming out in a few days' time. Your results that will be coming out in a few days' time. What is going to happen to you in a few days' time? What if you fail? What are you going to do? Are you going to be able to appeal? And what grounds are you going to appeal with? And will it be accepted? These are the things we are looking at now. This is the immediate issue. After we have done this, we can look at the future, we can look at reforms, we can look at everything. But for now, it's the 29th of June. It's your results coming out in a few days' time. Okay, when do we get results from the protest? So it all depends on the GPhC. So our goal is to go and put forward our requests, and based on the discussions, the GPhC will be happy to tell us what they're going to do. I'm hoping they wouldn't give us the answer straight away, but perhaps they might take some time and then get back to us. Heinz says, Marvin, please reinforce professionalism via email to each one coming. We do not want anything to mess up the protest. I cannot stress professionalism. And in my words, I've written peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. I've spoken to GPhC, I've spoken to Metropolitan Police. Anyone who decides to violate the conduct, it is on you. Not only are you getting in trouble with the police, but you're probably losing your chance or writing off your chance of ever becoming a pharmacist. So think about what you do. Think about what you do. You've got to be professional. If not, you have the security there. You've got the police, you've got Canary Wharf security, and you've got the GPhC that will be there to obviously take action for any misconduct. And personally, for someone that's organized this event, I wouldn't tolerate any form of violence, any form of unprofessionalism. And if that happens, I will be the first to tell you to leave. You can swear in your head, but you must remain professional. We're all professionals. We all work in the pharmacy every day. We know fully well that things go through our heads. Patients tell us off. They say all sorts of things that annoy us, but we don't voice certain things. We act professional all the time. I think, to be fair with everyone, GPhC needs to decrease passing mark so more candidates will pass in this exam. This is a very, very good point. And this will be one of the points. The reason why I'm not even stressing so much on this point is because the GPhC has done this. They do reduce that pass mark in exams. And they have said they adjust the marks based on the difficulty of the exam. So it is not something new where the GPhC has actually reduced that pass mark. They've done this in almost every exam. But reinforcing this is definitely something that we will also present to the GPhC. And the GPhC has to make that decision between the fine line. They always talk about the risk to the public of lowering the pass mark too much. They want to make sure that whatever they do not put the public at risk by making too many people pass. Guys, stay united. Thank you, Green Spaces. Someone says 10 out of 40 should be passed. We cannot discuss this sort of things. I wouldn't even take this sort of things to the GPhC, to be honest with you. All that's important. We can't start giving numbers. I know some of you said GPhC, why should they make everyone pass? And it has to be realistic. It has to be realistic. Okay, so it'll be good for them to get everyone to pass, but we need to be realistic. All right. So 10 out of 40, we cannot give those sort of numbers. All we can say and request for is that this pass mark be reduced due to the difficulty of the exam. But the GPhC has clearly said that the exam was fair. In their opinion, they've gone through all the standards, they've gone through all the due diligence with this exam, and this exam was rightfully set at the right level, according to the GPhC. According to the GPhC. So any more questions? Have the delegates been chosen? Yes, we've chosen 4 delegates that will be there to represent you, the trainees. Any more questions, ladies and gents? Thank you so much. All of you that have attended today, thank you so much for your commitment. Thank you so much for your interest in trying to make this work. Will they take out questions that some people may have got correct? We don't know, right? We don't know what the GPhC. If the GPhC is taking out questions, I'm assuming they will take out the questions that will probably be the hardest, or those that might have some problems with them. Perhaps those that they found everyone failing. So they're most likely to probably take out questions that either have, I think generally, I can't say questions that they find everyone failing, but they will take out a question if they thought the question was ambiguous, or perhaps, yeah, that was a serious issue with almost all trainees. Then they could take that one out. Perhaps it's got an error. Perhaps the standard wasn't the right standard. Hence, the reflection in the performance of the trainees. Is there a dress code? So entirely up to you. There isn't any dress code, but it's entirely up to you. It is a protest, but generally smart, right? So I will go smart, but that's me. Not with a suit. It's going to be a hot day, but at least. Anyhow, anyway, it's going to be hot. Just dress the way you want. The most important thing is you are there to support. That's the most important, and that your conduct is appropriate. As long as you do those two things, we are very grateful. I am very grateful. As long as you're there, you come down, and as long as you act within your professional conduct, then it's all good. It's all good. The needs to make sure that exam paper matches sample and learning outcomes. Okay, Faris, yes, these are all things that have been said. These are all things the GPhC has seen, and the GPhC actually put replies on these. Okay, so when we speak to a GPhC, we're not also trying to talk about the very things that they have replied to. Because guess what the GPhC is going to do? The GPhC, all they're going to tell us is, yes, we have answered these questions. Go and read our reply. Right? So make sure that whatever you're asking is not something that they've already answered. While we might challenge their answers, but they have answered this question. Right? They have answered these questions. It may not be the reply that we want, but going to a meeting and asking the same questions that they've answered already is just a waste of your time. Because most of you will be like, we should have just read this stuff then. Because they just said exactly what they've typed out for us. We know the GPhC said the exam was fair, but what is your opinion, Marvin? So people are asking me for my opinion, and I'll give you my honest opinion. I did not sit the exam. So I cannot really give an opinion because I did not write the exam. But what I can give you is an opinion of what I've heard and my observations from working with a lot of trainees and the feedback. So the feedback is, I've worked with so many trainees in the past. I haven't had any exam where I've had so many complaints or issues raised like this one. And what I heard from most of the trainees, and I'm talking about majority of those that messaged me, because I had a mix, but realistically, majority, I'll probably say about 70% of trainees that messaged me complained about the difficulty of paper one calculations. A number of them said clinical was fine. Okay, this is exactly what I got. So if someone's asking me what is my opinion, number one, I can't because I did not do the exam, but I can only tell you based on all the feedback I've been getting from your colleagues, your friends, paper one, and I believe that calculations was really difficult. I believe there was something extra to these calculations compared to other calculations. And the reason why I believe that is because I've never had so many complaints. And then number two, I had complaints from trainees that are normally very, very good at calculations. And I've spoken to some trainees that do not exaggerate. So I know there are some people that will exaggerate. Oh, everything was difficult. Wow, clinical so difficult, out of this world. Calculations was out of this world. I know there are trainees, but I also know that there are some trainees that will be so honest. They will tell you the truth as it is. And even these ones said to me, oh, Marvin, I'll tell you the truth. Maybe I think I might pass. But Marvin, honestly, these calculations was harder than I've ever done. So because of that, I personally believe that the difficulty of the specific calculations, not as much as clinical, not as much as, because with clinical, I've heard positive things, and with clinical as well, is kind of in par with the other exams from what I mean, the other complaints that students have had, right? It's not been massive, like so many people complain about this clinical. But for this CALCS paper, definitely, I do think there was an added difficulty in this CALCS paper. I do think so. Okay, Agri clinical was fine. Yes, clinical was fine, but CALCS was a day of judgment. Yeah, clinical wasn't bad. But yeah, but we will see. We will see. And if CALCS was really that bad for everyone, I still have faith in the GPhC. And that's what people fail to understand. I know when I was teaching some of you and I said to you, the GPhC is not there to trap you, I was a bit disappointed, right? And I will tell the GPhC this, because I used to big the GPhC up. And I'll just tell you guys, I never experienced that. As I mentioned, I've never experienced the exam. It wasn't to trap you, right? This is the first time where it feels like, wow, what was that all about? So I'll definitely say that I was also shocked. I was a bit disappointed with the feedback I was getting from calculations in the exam. But the GPhC, I still believe 100% that if you are diplomatic, if you're able to have that professional conversation, if you are a strong unit together, if you are someone that approaches the GPhC from an end of working with them, it is not for the interest of just you guys that this exam is looked into and sorted out. It is for the benefit of the GPhC. It is for their reputation as our leaders. This is not just for you. This is to their best interest that they take action. Hence the reason why, despite the fact that I'm going to war with the GPhC, not directly when I say that, it's not like something personal, the GPhC, but even though I say I'm going to war with them, I can still put my hands up and I can tell you the truth. The truth is, in the lead up to this protest, the GPhC has supported us more than any other company in terms of accommodating us and encouraging our protests. They had a chance to even maybe deflect some of this with the security or with the police, or try something to prevent our protest. But they haven't done so. The contrary is, they've been very supportive. They have been very supportive of this protest. And it's so simple, because as long as we behave ourselves. And I personally believe that if we went and saw the GPhC, we sounded really reasonable, we sounded really professional, we put the right points across, they will be happy to probably invite us later to discuss about more things. Right? I don't look at the GPhC as, oh, these people over there. Yes, everyone is dissatisfied about many things. I'm not sitting here to say the GPhC is perfect. Of course not. But what I'm saying is, I still think you should have hope. You shouldn't see things like there's going to be no change and this is the way it is and we're always going to be victims. Instead, you should be asking yourself, what can I do differently to influence change? And for me and for the group, this time we decided it's time to do a protest. If the protest doesn't work or doesn't influence change, then we will think about something else to add to this. I think because of the CALCS, it affected many students sitting. I think because of the CALCS, it affected many students sitting the clinical. I think someone said in the afternoon. It is possible, isn't it? If you have a very tough CALCS, then it will affect, for some people, it will affect the clinical, because you won't stop thinking about it. So I can understand that. Sometimes it's better when the first paper is the easier one, really. But it is what it is. So all of these other things like the flagging, the technical issues, that's what I was mentioning, they're not things that we will discuss in this specific meeting. Of course, we'll talk about other issues. But what I mean is the GPhC's last statement, they said they were investigating these issues. They've not given us the information yet, the results yet. And my guess is, even when we have the discussion, the meeting with them, and we mention these things, they will still tell us these are still under investigations. So all we can do is wait until they come back with the results of the investigations of all these other issues that were flagged up in the exam. Hence the reason why our second point, we are trying to push to at least make sure you have some sort of guarantee that if you appeal, some of these reasons should at least be upheld apart from just the delays. I was waiting for an easy question and only 5 questions were easy. Okay. All right. So I think that's it, ladies and gents. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for your time. I'm really excited. I've never been so excited. The only time during this protest where I felt a bit deflated, I'll tell you the truth, and some of you might have seen because I sent out messages. The only time I felt a bit deflated and I felt like perhaps doing a U-turn with this protest had nothing to do with resistance from the GPs and all of that. The only time I felt a bit deflated was when I felt that we were not getting enough trainees to attend the protest. It was more the disappointment that the very people I'm fighting for, the very people I'm doing this for, the very people I'm going the extra mile for are now not turning up to this. To me, that was my biggest disappointment. That's what made me feel a bit down and thought, and there's a message out there of the possibility of not doing this protest. But in all honesty, we have picked up momentum. Many of you have gone out and you've shared the messages, and I really appreciate you've shared this everywhere. More people have confirmed they will come to the protest. So it is all good and it is happening, right? We will go down there. We will do the protest. Let's be proud of ourselves. Let's be proud of being amongst those that did something different. Let's be proud of being one of those people that do not only talk, but those that act as well. Let's go down there. Let's take action. Let's make a difference. If not for anyone else, for ourselves. Let's make it happen. Thank you. Thanks for going ahead. I was disappointed hearing that it's cancelled. I was disappointed as well. I was heartbroken because this is something I've put in so much effort to. As you guys can see, I've literally, since the exam, the moment we decided we're going to protest, I haven't stopped. I've been working around the clock to make this day possible. Okay, so for me to then cancel this event was the biggest heartbreaker. But thank God we are not canceling it. Thank God we are back on, and thank God we are going to be stronger than ever before. I cannot wait to see all of you. I cannot wait to meet the GPhC. I cannot wait to put our points across, and I cannot wait to finally get all of you a better, a fairer outcome. We may not get everything that you want, but let's at least get something that puts you in a better place for this exam. So that if you pass the exam, let's try to make it in a way that it increases your chance of passing the exam. And even if you fail the exam, it increases your chances of either being your appeal being upheld, being accepted, or at least that attempt being cancelled or not put towards your total number of attempts. That's my goal for you. I will keep fighting. We will keep fighting. Let's do this. Let's all get down there. Get your placards. Don't come empty-handed, please. Write something down. Write the placards. These are our lines. I'm going to send that out to you. Have something. We take only what we feel. We're going to be screaming, right? We're going to be screaming. We take only what we feel. Our issues count. Our issues count. Our issues count. Fair treatment for all. Write it down. Bring down your placards. Bring down papers. Bring down cardboards. Anything you have. Let's have the messages. Let's have a good day together. Let's have a day of celebration and a day where we are getting our voices heard. A day where we've come down together, united together. We've met each other. You're not on your own. We are all together. All this time we've been talking online. All this time we've been messaging. But now we have an opportunity to sit down together, to have some drinks together. Well, water, I mean, to have some water together, to eat together, to have a laugh together, to sing together, to voice our concerns together, to voice our issues together, and to show everyone out there that yes, indeed, yes, we are here, and yes, we will make a difference. We will get our voices heard. We will make a difference. If others have not done it, if others couldn't do it, we will do it. Believe, believe, believe. Believe, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see all of you. Take care and see you all on Wednesday. Let's do this together. See you all. Bye.